Thank you guys so much for coming. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We are so happy that you chose to join the Hollander webinar, where our esteemed guest is going to talk about the brands, the product lines, and how you can use it best to meet your customers' needs. We are going to make this a very interactive webinar, so please participate. We're going to have polls. We're going to have huge prizes. So just pay attention and you'll be walking away with some Hollander product. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Alden to take it up.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. It looks like we have a really fun group here from all across the globe, which is really cool to see. Yeah, and thank you for Lollycup for giving us the opportunity to get together. I'm going to jump into the product line now, and yeah, please let me know if you have any questions as we're going. Love to hear from you, and glad we get to connect today. So we're a Hollander chocolate company, full line chocolate company, focused on the coffee industry, but expanding to anywhere else that chocolate is delicious, which is everywhere. So just to start off, I just kind of want to show you, we're a small team, kind of the founders here of all really passionate people about coffee, about chocolate, about tea. We have our, these are actual portraits here we had commissioned. So Doug is the president of the company. He was a longtime cocoa trader in Holland, food scientist, and
hey Alden, I just want to cut in. We are still on the title slide, if you wouldn't mind moving on. We see your great portraits now.
All right. All right. So yeah, this is my small team here. We have Doug. We're all the co-founders of Hollander Chocolate. Doug was a longtime cocoa trader. I'm just showing you this because I want everybody to understand where we came from, why we're so passionate, what our backgrounds are. Doug was a longtime cocoa trader, food scientist, and really pioneered the sort of chocolate for coffee category back in the early 90s, when everybody started really pressing into mochas and white chocolate mochas and things like that. Doug was one of the pioneers for that. He's also a U.S. merchant captain. His favorite is milk chocolate. And then we have Grant. These are actually brothers here that we're working with, which gets fun. Grant does a lot of our international sales. He's been a long time coffee industry guy, building really large brands that we're also working closely with, like 1883 and Pacific Foods are people that we work closely with. Grant's been instrumental to that. He's a white chocolate guy. We're all passionate about different things in our line. Kurt, he's the head of sales. He's another longtime coffee industry insider. He's the kind of the secret behind a lot of these allied brands that you see out there. He's a little league coach. He loves caramel. And then this is me over here, maybe when I had longer hair. I'm the VP of Marketing Innovation. Between Doug and myself, we were the people who created the packaging, created the flavor profiles, sourced all of the ingredients, things like that. So we really know these products from the ground up. We're very passionate about everything that's in the bottle, including the bottle. We designed the bottle. So this is kind of the group that you're looking at here. I'm an avid cook and culinary tinker, jack of trades. I kind of do anything with culinary. I can't tell you any of the secrets of what I'm doing with chocolate right now, but I'm always in the kitchen working on something. And I'm a dark chocolate guy. All right. Let me see. So basically what we do, we just make great stuff. So we have a full line of chocolate sauces and chocolate powders. These were created from the get-go, us being in the chocolate and coffee world, to really sort of show a lot of respect to the category. Everything we had in mind was for the barista, for the cafe, and also highlighting the best of the ingredients that we could get. It's really important to us that what's in your cup, you spend so much time sourcing your coffee and your milk and your tea and things like that. It's really important to us that that the chocolate that goes into your cup is of equal quality. And so we kind of went back to the original pioneering sort of Dutch masters of the new wave of chocolate and looked at a lot of what they did originally, which is creating these cocoa powders that that do pair really well with coffee and absorb really well into liquid, and focused on those. We're 100% made in America, kind of a traditional set of products, but made for the next wave of cafes and trends. So the fast facts. If you drop off here, here's what you need to know. We're made in the USA, and everything is sourced from within the USA when possible. Obviously, we don't grow a whole lot of cocoa and vanilla here, but everything else we source from within the USA as much as possible. Really, the reason for that is because we want to know where everything comes from. The larger you make your circle outside of further away from your manufacturing facility, it's harder to understand where things come from. We love the fact that we know our cane sugar comes from the US South, that our milk comes from Wisconsin, things like that. We can literally take a visit within the country and go visit a lot of our ingredients manufacturers. We're the fastest growing chocolate line in the industry. Our velocity has been amazing, and it really is just a matter of that we have tapped into sort of what's been sort of a sleepy category for a little while, and just got back to the basics with great ingredients and great flavor profiles, and it's resonated with people, and hopefully it's already resonating or will resonate with y'all as well. We do a full line of sauces and powders. I'll get into that a little bit later. That's important because anything that you could want in the category, we do have the same sort of idea and passion behind every single product. We're obsessed with real ingredients. What a concept, right? We really like leaning into real ingredients, because real ingredients give real flavors. It's authentic. Professional flavor profiles made for the coffee house. But let's not kid anybody. It's also great on ice cream. I love the caramel on just cut apples here at home. It's guilty pleasure. So it really works everywhere. We have an industry-leading commitment to clean and ethically sourced ingredients. We see a lot of people. We see a lot of people now kind of catching up with that, which is really great. But we're always kind of looking for the next thing of what does clean mean, what does ethical mean, what does visible mean. We want the mocha or the caramel latte or the white chocolate mocha that you're drinking to not only be the most delicious one, but one that you can feel good about as well. We are a small ownership group, which means we don't have big overhead. And so we're able to pass along more quality at a competitive price. That's really important to us because it's kind of, for lack of better terms, more value for the buck. So what are you getting for your dollar? There's more quality put into every bottle, into every bag than you would typically see out there. And the most important thing, all of these things are great, but the most important thing is we win blind tastings. When you do a lineup of our products compared to the other ones out there, it's blind, nobody knows the brand. It tastes great. People tend to pick it. That's probably the most important thing about our company right there. The other stuff is just good to know kind of things. As I mentioned, authentic flavor. So not made to taste real because it is real is a very important thing to us. A lot of products that you see out there have a lot of different flavorings and different things to sort of mimic the real thing. We don't want to mimic the real thing. We want to be the real thing. And that's why people, when they taste our caramel, taste our chocolate, taste our white chocolate that actually has cocoa butter, wow, this is so rich and so flavorful and so complex. That's because we're using the real ingredients. We use specialty grade cocos. Coffee, for example, has a sort of a grading system that a lot of people are familiar with. Not too dissimilar for cocoa. So we're using a really high quality cocoa, a blend of a really high quality cocos, mostly Dutch cocos. And I'll get into a little bit later what Dutch cocoa means. We also, in a lot of our products, use a specialty grade dark chocolate, a natural Brazilian cocoa butter, which is super tropical and buttery and warm and just brings a really great flavor to your cup. American grown cane sugar, California sea salt, Wisconsin dairy. We use real vanilla. And these are all super important things to us. I think that if you look at what's contained in a lot of products out there, there's not as much intentionality and the ingredient deck. Most importantly, it's just what we're passionate about. And at the end of the day, tastes real because it is real. The next thing is, as I mentioned, true story, ethical and traceable sourcing practices to bring clarity to your cup beyond the coffee. This is something that we really think is important. You see a lot of different people putting single origin and different things on the coffee, on the tea, even often on the milks and things like that go into it. But very rarely do you see sort of clarity about what else is in your cup from the sauce and powder side. So everything that we get from outside the US is Rainforest Alliance certified. That's really important to us. They're a great way to ensure that there's some safeguards in place for the people who are farming, that there's some sustainability practices for the people, opportunities to grow their business, better their life for family, things like that. We also have the Origin Trust. That's something that we run, where we give a portion of our proceeds to different causes. We typically focus on what's going on in the moment. So during the pandemic, it was very much focused on first responders, things of the sort. Now we have other things going on in the world that we're looking into as well. And so that's what kind of makes this worthwhile. The next thing, I kind of call these our badge of honor. These GMO-free, no high fructose corn syrup, source visible, zero trans fat. It's like a lot of people, gluten-free, all these things are tested. A lot of people go, why does that matter to me? Well, when you have a customer that comes in that might have an allergy or certain preferences, you can feel confident that what's in your cup. Also, you never know what's going to become a hot button issue a couple months from now, a couple of years from now. You don't want to find yourself having to change your whole product line because there's something in that product that is no longer cool with your customer base or with yourself. So yeah. So growth drivers. Why are people coming to Hollander? I guess this is really just a recap of what I've been talking about. It's the clean label, super on trend. People are looking for authenticity. People are looking for things they feel good about. I guess another one that I didn't put on here is funny enough to say, chocolate is trending right now. We've been through a wild ride in the world and in the last couple of years, and nostalgic flavors are on trend. People are going towards things that feel comforting, feel familiar, but they also want a good version of that. So we lean into sort of the nostalgia, elevated nostalgia, like our hot cocoa is going to give you those old school feelings, but it's an elevated sort of ingredient deck and things like that. So clean label, the gourmet trend. Everybody wants to go premium these days because you want to know what's in your cup. You want things to be delicious. More quality. I mean, people are looking for more quality. I guess, kind of the value and trust side, more quality for your dollar. And it's also creates loyalty with your customers. Your customers might not know that you use Hollander, but they're going to know that the drink that they got is delicious. And that's the important part. Okay, poll time. Sabrina, I'll let you take this from here. Do you want me to stop sharing now?
No, we're good. Okay, everyone, we are going to be doing a poll. We just want to know what type of business you have, what brings you here, if you're trying to find out what kind of information, so that we can tailor it. We're going to go ahead and launch a poll. You should be able to answer that on Zoom. And so just go ahead and enter that. For everybody who answers, they will be entered into a raffle for a full set of Hollander cafe sauces. So you'll be getting the chocolate, the white chocolate, the caramel. So go ahead and make sure that you enter your answers now, and we'll be able to ship that off to you afterwards. And if you're here, well, Chantel, thank you for coming. We love content creators. Maybe we can collab later. So we're going to give it one more moment. Go ahead, and if you have not entered in any answers, please do so now. And then we're going to close it, and we're going to pull the winners at the next poll. So make sure to continue watching so that you can find out if you're the winner. All right, we're going to go ahead and end that poll. It looks like we have a pretty even split. We've got a lot of people who have coffee houses, bubble tea shops, and a lot of people here just for themselves who just want to know about Hollander and probably love chocolate. So we're happy to have all of you guys, and you all are now entered to win a set of the cafe sauces. So with that, let's go back to Alden, and he's going to tell us all about the product line set, some of which you won.
All right. Very cool. So we have some chocolate enthusiasts here as well. That's awesome. Well, cool. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and jump into our offerings. What it is exactly that we do. So this is sort of a snapshot of our full line. We have all of the cafe sauces here, the Dutch chocolate cafe sauce, the white chocolate cafe sauce, classic caramel. I will say we kind of have a little bit of a cult following on our caramel. Sometimes we joke that we should rebrand ourselves the Hollander Caramel Company, because people are very passionate about our caramel. It's also, you know I said I was a dark chocolate guy before, but I'm very into it as well. We also have our red label. So it's really easy to kind of see what everything is used for. Our red label is primarily for hot drinks, can be used in cold drinks as well. And our blue label is for blended drinks. Keeps it pretty simple there. Red label, we have the whole spectrum from super dark to white chocolate and everything in between. The Masterpiece Dark is one of my favorites. The Sweet Ground is one that you'll see at a lot of different major retailers in the country, and they're all products that we're really proud of. So let me jump into the first one, our cafe sauces. So here's our Dutch chocolate cafe sauce. Let me go into a second, just what does Dutch mean? And I don't know if anybody here knows already, but there's a different style of cocoa that can be used. There is what is considered a natural. It's a little bit of a misnomer, but there's a natural in a Dutch, and a Dutch means that it's been pH neutralized. If anybody's here is familiar with, how masa is made out of corn or different things like that, it's a very similar thing. You're increasing the water solubility of the chocolate, and you're taking some of the sharper notes out of the chocolate with a simple pH neutralizing process that kind of give the chocolate what you might think of as a very high-end baked or patisserie, or I guess you can just go with a fudge or brownie flavor profile. This works really well with everything, but specifically goes really well with coffee or teas or anything that you're going to put in there as well, because it allows.
Hey, we have a question.
Sure.
So Cody uses a baking cocoa for making chocolate glazed donuts. Are one of these similar, or could they be utilized to make a glaze?
Yeah.
His recipe is usually just mix milk, butter, and powdered sugar with it.
Oh, sure. So let me go up. So this Masterpiece Dark here, the one that's in the black bag, we actually make that with a confectioner's sugar. Cody, you're probably familiar with what that means, but basically that means that you can make glazes, make frostings, snaps into solution. So I definitely, if you're making something that you are not going to be heating, or cooking. The Masterpiece Dark, we specifically made it with that type of sugar. It also has a lower sugar content, so you can customize it a little bit further. Yeah, the Masterpiece Dark is the way to go. That's a really great question.
Another question we have from Rajiv is, I know you're probably going to answer that farther along, but do you have malt powder?
A malt powder? We don't, but I was recently reading about that. It's a great idea. I'm a big fan of old-fashioned shakes, the date shake, the old chocolate malts and things like that. So we don't currently have that. We do have, I do know some people who make, who use our products along with the malt powder, but we don't currently have that in our lineup. That's a good one. I'm going to put that on our innovation board. Yeah, thank you. Cool. So yeah, so great questions. Just on the Dutch cocoa once more. It's made to pair with coffee. Coffee tends to be characterized by a lot of the top notes that you're gonna taste. Dutch cocoa has a lot of sort of the rounded base notes and those really decadent notes. So they pair well. They don't hide your coffee. That's what we base our Dutch chocolate cafe sauce on. This is also a vegan product, tested vegan, and made with a vegan sugar. I don't know if that is on anybody's radar, but there are different types of sugar out there. There are non-vegan sugars and vegan sugars. We use a vegan sugar in our product, which basically comes down to how it's filtered. Is it filtered through a bone char or through a different medium? So yeah, this is a great one for any vegan cafes or people with dairy allergies out there. Our white chocolate cafe sauce. This is a really cool one because we use a lot of really great Brazilian cocoa butter in this. We wanted to pay homage to the original white chocolate. A lot of the white chocolate that's out there and for decades that we've been eating. And I think a big reason why a lot of people think they don't like white chocolate is really just a vanilla flavored oil. That doesn't sound too delicious, right? But the original white chocolate is cocoa butter. There's actually a standard of definition for this. It has to contain cocoa butter, sugar, milk, and vanilla. And that's what we base this off of. And that's why you're going to get that real white chocolate flavor. We use a single source Wisconsin dairy. Much in the spirit of the Dutch chocolate, it's going to be that rich based sort of rounded flavor buttery flavor that's going to make your coffee pop and pair really well. This is not a vegan one. We do use milk in it, but it's great. This is our caramel sauce. As I mentioned before, we have a little bit of a cult following on our caramel sauce, and I think it really deserves. That. We use it's a slower process that we have to make this caramel sauce. It's got a really rich old-fashioned flavor. I think if you try a lot of caramel sauces today, you're gonna experience a lot of butterscotch flavors, or sometimes it's really more about the color and then it's just sweet. Ours is very flavorful. We use a lot of really great sea salt in there to make it pop. And I definitely recommend, if you haven't tried it, to try this one. The only other thing that I wanted to mention too is through some very innovative secret practices I can't really share. We have a thinner consistency for our sauce. If anybody's ever had a hard time getting a full pump out of the sauce or getting it out of the squeeze bottle, that's why we did it. We wanted to make sure that this is something, a product that was easy to use, especially if you're a cafe or boba shop owner. You might have a bigger barista like me behind the bar, and then a smaller barista behind the bar. You want to make sure that they can pump that bottle with the same dosing at the end of the day. So yeah, here's the full line, all the different formats. Even down to our single serve packets, which a lot of y'all are going to be able to get samples of those, right, Sabrina? And so you get to try. This is for a 12-ounce mocha or anything that you want to try it on. this is how we advertise here in Barista Magazine and all the different trade pubs that we look at. But yeah, so as you can see, great, really clean ingredient deck, GMO-free ingredients. It's gluten and soy-free. We do test, third-party test for this all the time. There's no artificial colors, no artificial flavors, no high fructose corn syrup. It is a kosher certified. Yeah, it's a really great product. We want it to be the next best thing. If you're ever going to make a chocolate sauce at home or in your cafe, maybe this is the next best thing, maybe better. So the next is the white chocolate. Here's our different formats. These smaller bottles are great for drizzling in the cafe or just using at home for desserts and things like that. These are also surprisingly really great from home, and a lot of people have this next to your home espresso machine. I know that a lot of people, including a lot of my family, I've always had an espresso machine at home. I'm one of the lucky ones because it's my job. But a lot of people have gotten an espresso machine or a Nespresso machine or something similar over the last couple of years. This is a great thing to sit next to it. Have your morning coffee with. Yeah, so as you can see, we use cocoa butter, natural vanilla. This is really based off of the real thing. We like to say it plays well with others. It's so important, right? I have 2 little boys, and that's the most important thing. I want them to play well with others. So that's our white chocolate. And simple ingredients. It's also GMO-free, RBST, hormone-free dairy. It does contain milk, but it is vegetarian friendly otherwise. Nothing artificial. I think that if you really look at a lot of the white chocolates out there, and I don't know if anybody else here is a big label reader, but I am. I always want to know what's in it. You'll see that this is a uniquely simple recipe that just really leans into the real ingredients. All right, the caramel. Again, these are the different formats. We did this box because we wanted to create something that you could see from across the warehouse, across the room. You know what's in that box. And this is the one right here that I always have on the countertop for a little snack with apples. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, and I like to call it an updated classic because it's got that classic flavor profile that in a lot of ways I think that we kind of lost over the years with classic flavor profile, but with real ingredients. So here's the pumps, here's the racks, all the things that you can use to go along with that. And then here you go, another poll and results from the last poll. So
Okay, Alden, if you can go ahead and stop the screen share so I can reveal who the winner is. Okay, so for everybody who participated, got your names randomly in here. Now you will be winning this set of the sauces and the squeeze bottles, the caramel, the white chocolate, the chocolate. You can use it for personal use at your coffee station at home or start off some menu items at your business. So let's see, the winner is Zavana. Congratulations, Zavana. You are going to be getting a set of sauces. So we will be reaching out to you later to go ahead and find out where to send those to you. Congratulations, Savannah. Now, if you did not win, there is another opportunity. We are going to be raffling off a set of the creme frap mixes. So it's going to be the sweet creme, the cafe creme. There's 2 other flavors I'm missing. But you'll get all of it, so you can make all the different types of drinks, test things out, or make it for yourself, things like that. So I'm going to open up the poll and let you guys go ahead. Let's see, we're just going to set that up. Speaking about set your coffee station, we want to know what's included in your coffee routine. Oh, sorry, your morning routine. I guess you can tell what my answer is. We're going to launch the poll. And do you have a cup of coffee in the morning? Are you a tea person? Are you actually reaching for an energy drink, or are you one of those rare people who can handle your morning caffeine free? You're supposed to drink a glass of water as soon as you wake up. Or lemon water. I don't know any people who do that, but mostly it's a cup of coffee. And I'm seeing in the poll that majority of people agree. We've got 87% coffee drinkers, got some tea people, but they are a minority. But it means that you guys are at the right webinar. Coffee and these Hollander products go together very well. So yeah, I hope you guys win in the next poll. So that's it. We're going to go ahead and close it. We are going to pull the winner when we come back again. And in the meantime, I do want to go ahead and shout out and let you guys know that if you have not won anything, or you end up not winning anything, you can still get samples of the Hollander products if you do contact your sales rep, or you can reach out to us at marketing@carrotpackaging.com, and we will help get you these nice little sample kits where you can sample all of the cafe sauces. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and give it back to Alden, and then I'll meet back with you later to find out who wins the powders, and we'll do another raffle.
Okay, thank you. Let me
Take
see.
over, Alden.
All right, let me see if I can do this gracefully here. Give me a moment. All right. Okay. Very good. All right. So on to the next item. Our specialty cafe powders. Yeah, this is a super cool lineup. Like I said, we kind of cover all of the different flavor profiles that you might be looking for. From the super dark 78% cacao. We tried a lot of different percentages, and we found that this was the one that just worked the best for everything, including some different sort of combinations that I'll talk to a little bit later. As we mentioned with Cody, it's great for beverage, confection, baking. It's a super versatile product. This is one that if you want a little bit less sugar in your coffee, in your life, this is a really good one. Or if you're somebody who likes to add a lot of additional flavors to your coffee and to your mocha, like a raspberry or rose or any coconut, things like that, without it getting too sweet. This is a little bit less sweet to start, so you can get all that chocolate punch and add all of your other flavors that you like as well, without kind of blowing out the sweetness. So this is a super fun one, the one that I probably use the most just at home. Like I said before, though, I'm a dark chocolate guy at the beginning of this. So, and this one, we do have our sugar is fair trade certified organic sugar that we use in here. We have our sweet ground chocolate. This is kind of the big winner as far as it's the big crowd pleaser. I love this one as well. Our hot cocoa and our white chocolate. I'll talk a lot about our white chocolate. As you can tell, I like to talk about our white chocolate because we've done some really cool things with it. These are all 2.5 pound bags. And then we have some packets here. For the cafe coffee shop, boba shop owners here. I don't know if you've ever experienced that big 30-pound bag in the box that, you got to reach your hand into and scoop out. And next thing you know, you're covered in cocoa powder and it's a disaster. When I was a young barista in my teens, I ruined a date that I was going to have right after that by just being covered in chocolate powder. And I vowed that one day I would have a chocolate company and get rid of those 30-pound bags. So here we are. Here's the product of that. And so, yeah, let me move on to the next one here. Yeah, this is the Masterpiece Dark. As I mentioned, this is actually a 1.5 pound bag because it has less sugar in it. Sugar is very heavy. This has a lot less sugar in it, so it's a little bit lighter, but still the same amount of sort of finished product that you can put into your drink. This is one that I really like to make. I like to make a dark chocolate wildflower honey mocha. As I mentioned before, it's a little bit less sweet, so you can add some new sort of flavors in there too without making it too sweet. And I'm a big fan of honey. I live in Oregon, so I feel like I'm very lucky to have a lot of different just cool honeys at the grocery store that I can try, and it's great in mochas and it's great with chocolate. So this is one of my favorites, especially working into springtime. This is another cool thing about the Masterpiece Dark is we have this mocha menu. And Sabrina, maybe we can make sure that this is available to everybody. But with just our sweet ground chocolate and our Masterpiece Dark, when you mix it into different different percentages into your mocha, you can create different mochas that cover the spectrum of what people might prefer from the grocery store when you go and get a 78% cacao chocolate bar, or 60% cacao, or 52% cacao. This is a way of creating a mocha menu that touches upon everybody's taste. For example, a 78% cacao mocha for a 12 ounce is just 3 tablespoons of the dark. A 60% cacao is going to be 50-50 between the dark and the sweet ground. The 52% is going to be 1 tablespoon of Masterpiece and 2 tablespoons of sweet ground cocoa powder. It's really easy to follow, and it really expands your menu. It's a lot of fun. All right, here's our sweet ground Dutch chocolate powder. So again, really leaning into those Dutch cocos. We do have some dark chocolate, some very fine dark chocolate in there as well. As I mentioned before, we're all Rainforest Alliance certified. This one's also vegan, vegan sugars, everything like that in here. And for example, I guess in real life, if you go to a Whole Foods, get a mocha or hot cocoa at Whole Foods, they're using this product behind the bar. So it's pretty cool anywhere in the world where there's a Whole Foods. So I just mentioned that because they're so picky about what they'll let into the store, and the amount of hoops we had to jump through to have the opportunity to work with a chain like that was amazing, but now we like to brag about it. So yeah, this is also great because it's made with the Dutch cocos. It does make iced drinks really well as well. Makes a mean hot or it makes a mean milk chocolate as well, as my 5-year-old will tell you. So yeah, and a classic Dutch cocoa mocha. I know this is a pretty simple recipe, but it's just the way you should try it. I really like to use whole milk, a really good espresso, and let the cocoa shine here. The master recipe for this is basically 1 tablespoon for every 4 ounces of finished beverage. You'll see that. So 3 tablespoons in a 12 ounce, it would be 4 tablespoons in a 16 ounce, and so on and so forth. And latte art not required, but it is a fun thing to try to get into. I'm really good at pouring the occasional heart and lots of amoebas, things that you can't quite tell what you're looking at. Okay, our finest Dutch hot cocoa. This is like the nostalgic, it's sort of like the Swiss Miss, but elevated. It's for the whole family. It's for the person who's really picky about their chocolate, and it's also for the kids in the group. This one also works really well for a frozen hot cocoa. It works really well as well if you want to do a milk chocolate mocha. Really lean into the creamy flavors with a mocha. It's super rich and decadent. I love it in that one, featuring all the same really high quality cocos that we do. This one is not vegan as opposed to the last few. But it's great. It's also water soluble if you ever fill up a bun machine or anything like that. Campfire hot cocoa is one of my favorite things to do. We love s'mores around here, and we love s'mores as a drink too. I also love toasting marshmallows with my with my little at-home flamethrower that I have, my little brulee torch. So it's super fun. I like to use a speculoos syrup from 1883 is my personal preference, to kind of bring that sort of graham cracker flavor to it. You add crushed graham cracker to the top, brulee marshmallow. It's fun, but don't set your house on fire. And a chunk of really good chocolate. All right. Here's our white chocolate powder. I know, like I said, I love talking about our white chocolate powder, but this was such an amazingly, I'll be honest, hard product to make. And the reason is most products like this out there use third-party creamers. And what's a third-party creamer? It's sort of what you might see. It's what's going to make it creamy. It's what's going to make it dissolve. But it also brings a lot of the ingredients that, we don't really even know what they are. So why do we want to put it in our product? So we actually had to create new machinery, this a whole new way of micronizing real Brazilian cocoa butter into a powder, which is, an oil of a fat like cocoa butter. Doesn't want to be a powder. So we came up with this really great, really cool way of creating real white chocolate powder. So it's got that real flavor. And so basically what this does is it gets rid of the need, if you ever like to make something with white chocolate chips, which is a really high-end way to do a mocha, or another product that's a little less clean. This is a way to get that white chocolate chip or bar flavor into your mocha without having to go through that cumbersome process. So yeah, this is the first of its kind on the market that is a clean label, real white chocolate powder. It's super cool. We're really proud of it. Yeah, this is one of my favorite things to make. If you want to make sure that you won't go to sleep for a couple days straight, I like to make one of these. It's basically brewed black tea with and I make it with specialty espresso. You can also make it with drip white chocolate. This is super popular in parts of Asia, and it's a delicious drink. I also really like this white chocolate with matcha, and it goes really well with my favorite syrup out there, which is a cantaloupe syrup. So those go really well together. This is a really fun one. Matcha again, pistachio latte, which is a coffee. And then one of my favorite ones to make, if I'm kind of showing off, is a white chocolate matcha latte with Fruity Pebbles. You should try it. Fruity Pebbles go amazingly well with white chocolate and matcha. And for the content creator here, I see a couple of y'all. It's a very Instagrammable drink. It's light, it's fun, it's fruity, it's colorful, and photographs really well. So here you go.
Okay, great. All of those recipes look delicious. All of our ears picked up with the melon milk tea. Like, okay, I see you. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to, Alden, if you can just stop squaring your screen so that I could, great. We've got our bucket here. We've tallied up the participants who answered in the poll. Now, Diana is our winner. Diana, you will be getting a set of the frappe mixes. We've got 4 bags that are coming your way, so you can make all those amazing recipes you went over, and make sure to take a picture and tag us. Congratulations for winning that. We are going to dive right into the next poll. This is our final poll. Whoever wins this drawing will receive a huge case of a variety of full-size product. So you're going to be getting some powders, some sauces, some cocos, a big goodie bag, a big goodie box for you to enjoy. So you'll be able to try all of the recipes that Alden explained to you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and launch. It's just a fun poll here. We want to know what your favorite way to enjoy chocolate beverages. Do you like it in a frappe? Do you like it ice blended? Would you prefer it in a latte form or just a classic hot cocoa? How do you like to drink your coffee? I keep going to coffee. I mean, that's just where my mind's at. I'll choose the latte. But we have pretty even split here. A lot of frappe lovers, iced coffee lovers, hot cocoa lovers. Latte is a little minority here, but for everyone who loved the frappes, you guys have to get your hands on these. I've got the sweet cream here, and then we also have the cafe creme. Definitely would hit that craving for you guys. All right, we're gonna go ahead and close that poll, and that is it. We are going to tally the results, and before we pull the winner, I do want to let you guys know, as a reminder, if you have not won any of these and you are interested in trying Hollander, you can contact your sales rep, or if you do not have one, you can reach out to us at marketing@carrotpackaging.com to request some samples. We do have our email in the chat, so you can copy that. We'll also send you our email, so if you decide later on you want to get some samples, you can email us as well. We've got these nifty little kits here that have the little single-use pouches of like the cafe sauces. We've got the Dutch chocolate, the caramel, the white chocolate. So you guys can sample these if you just let us know. And then also we are going to be sending a survey following this webinar. We really appreciate if you guys give us your feedback and let us know what you think of these types of webinars, because we're always trying to improve and make these better for you guys, so you get the best information for your uses, whether it be starting a business or creating content, or if you're distributing any of those. And I will leave some time to answer any questions. If anybody has it, you can go ahead and enter it in the chat. Any final things, because we've got our co-founder and resident expert Alden with us, so this is the best time to ask, if you have questions about recipes, about usage, about limitations. We do plan on having a full webinar on just recipes and crafting drinks, so stay tuned, and make sure that you track your email so that we will announce when that is coming along later on. Okay, we do have questions. Any pics of those last two recipes, Alden? Maybe you could send that to me and I'll include it in the follow-up email, but those looked really good. Those sounded good. We just want to see it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and then where do you order these frat mixes? They should be on lollipopstore.com. If you do not see them, we can put in a special order if you contact your sales rep. If you do not have a sales rep, go ahead and email us at marketing@carrotpackaging.com, and we're going to try to work something out to get you those products. Any other questions before we move on? Okay, so I'm going to move right on because we're towards the end of the webinar. I'm going to pull the final winner. So again, you are going to get a case full of all of the different types of products, the cocos, the frappe mixes, the sauces, some swag as well. So let's go ahead and pull the winner. The winner is Rajiv. Congratulations,
Right.
Rajiv. You will be getting sent a case. I believe you're going to be starting a coffee shop. This is perfect to get your menu started. So congratulations to everyone who won. Thank you so much for staying along with us. I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Alton to see if there's anything else you want to close with. And then there's a few more minutes if you guys have any questions you want to jump in as well.
Sure. And I'll just go through really quickly some of the frappes, and then real top line stuff, and then we can go to questions. So yeah, our creme frappe powders here. Here's the full lineup. We have a chocolate. The white chocolate has that same micronized cocoa butter in there. The sweet crema, which I love. It has a sort of a once you blend it, of like a really old school great vanilla milkshake that just kind of, you could put anything in there, it's going to be delicious. And then the cafe crema, which, you know, originally I fought this idea, and I was like, you know, we want really high quality coffee, and we actually found it. And to me, it's great because it reminds me of that that kind of old school classic coffee ice cream, you know, that I used to steal out of my grandmother's freezer when I was a kid. So I love it. It's nostalgic. The coffee in there is really great, and it doesn't have a huge caffeine content. So if you're caffeine sensitive, it's great, but it has the great flavor of it in there as well. These are all really high quality. And the one thing that I want to say is about these, this is really one of the only lines of frappes and blender bases that I know out there, a powder that does not have that third-party creamer system, that is considered clean label. You know, none of these are actually vegan. They do have the Wisconsin dairy in there, but they're uniquely clean label for the market. You can feel really good about what you have in your blender, what you're serving, if ingredient deck is what matters to you. So, okay. So here's the chocolate that, based off of that Dutch cocoa, it's going to be that really rich sort of cocoas, that rich brownie flavor, that rich baked good flavor that pairs well with so many things. Here's one of my favorite things to make, because I love sea salt caramel. I love chocolate. I typically make this with cold brew. You could make it with anything else. It also tastes really good with a really sort of strong black tea, a strongly brewed black tea. Pick your own origin. So yeah, this is a really fun one. The white chocolate creme frappe, it's very much in the same spirit, very similar ingredients to our white chocolate red label powder and our white chocolate sauce. Real white chocolate in there. This is not, some people use this as a neutral base. If you don't want to have a sweet crema and a white chocolate, you can use this for both, but it is going to have a buttery cocoa butter flavor. Everybody loves an affogato. If you haven't had one, I recommend you try it. It's kind of the best of both worlds. I like to make this one. As you can tell, I'm kind of a caramel fan as well. I said I like dark chocolate. I kind of like everything, let's be honest. And the coconut goes really well with that. So there you go. That's the really quick breeze through of the crema line. So from here, I'll stop sharing.
I went out of order because I was just so excited to give away product. So that's what this slide was. Whoops. Okay, well, any final questions? I just want to congratulate anybody who won. We've got the sauces, the frappe mixes, the huge case of variety items. I did confirm that we actually on lollipopstore.com do not currently carry the cafe and the sweet creme flavors. We do have white chocolate and then chocolate. The sweet chocolate is what it's called. So yeah, we are going to be trying to take a poll of your interest in it. It's going to be included in the survey that's going to be sent out to you soon. So if you do want to purchase these flavors, then go ahead and let us know in the survey, and then we're going to work on bringing them in for you. But other than that, Alden, any closing thoughts about Hollander before we end the webinar?
No, I just want to say thank you for everybody who joined. We had a really good group here, and y'all had a lot of fun stuff to say. I want to give a shout out to Chantel. Hi, Chantel. She's a good friend of ours on Instagram. But also Yeah, thank you to Lollycup for giving us the opportunity to all get together here today, and for your interest in Hollander. I hope everybody, if you haven't gotten a chance to try, gets a chance to try all of our products. If there's some new stuff that you're interested in, we'd love to facilitate getting you some samples. It's all about making great stuff that's delicious, that you can feel good about, and share with your friends and family and your customers. So I'd love to get it in your hands, and yeah, just thank you again for everybody. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer those as well.
Yeah, we will be sending a recording of this webinar, so if you missed something, you can go back. We also will be sending out a copy of the presentation, so you can find those recipes that he went over. And that's it, you guys. You'll be able to get the survey and the recording within the next 1 to 2 days, so look out for that. We have so many other webinars coming up. We've got 1883 we're going to be featuring. We've got carrot products. So just check out the list of the webinars coming up and join them as well. There's possibly going to be some free product there. So follow along. With that, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you at the next webinar. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.